Hi there, welcome back to the channel. And as you'll see, I'm calling it channel and not shop because let me show you what's going on. Well, this used to be the shop, and right now we're looking up at the big blue sky, big blue Durban sky. So the shop's been broken. It's part of the roof and all of that's been removed. As you can see, the walls with the hundreds of holes that I've put in there over time. But today's video is not about you looking at the shop. Today's video is about cutting down a roll-up garage door. Now, I know many people would look at it and say, because of the springs, this is an extremely dangerous thing to do. But I want to show you that yes, it can be done. So the garage door used to be mounted up here, and it's a Wispeco garage door, chromadeck door. So it's a very nice quality door, aluminium roll-up door that I don't want to toss out. And the most dangerous part about working with a door like this are these springs which tension the garage door, you know, to make it easy to go up and down. And I know a mate of mine was fiddling with it or doing something with it, and he was actually jumped up and hit him in the mouth, and he was injured quite badly. So, you know, that's why you're told don't mess around with this. But as you can see, I've already removed it from the garage door. So I got the guys to roll the door out, and when you roll it out, obviously it loses its tension, so it makes it safer to work with. You can see the hardware which holds it together, a couple of rivets, and I've drilled it out. And the plan here is to cut it down. So we're going to change the width of it from there to about there, to about 1.5 meters. We'll keep the length, and it's going to go into the new shed we're building at the back. So I'm going to take you through the process as I cut it down and turn it into a smaller, more usable door for me. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the bar that was put in for the auto door closer that I had on there. So I'm in the process of drilling it out. And now it's going to make it easier for me to just cut along the sides and bring it down to the width that I want. This is the temporary shop that I've just knocked up. This is part of my veranda that I've closed in. It's in a mess because I'm moving stuff in, but I've managed to get things in here. Well, some of it anyway. My clamps take up a wall there. The balance of it is all sitting out here. My table saw and other stuff's underneath there, and I want to pop across quickly and show you the new shed that we're putting up. That's my doggy in the pool. She's having lots of fun, and I get to work. The new shed that I'm putting up is here on the bottom end of the homestead. As you can see, my tunnel in the background and some water tanks, and my trusty old helper, who's almost as tall as me, is getting there. So yeah, we've started building that today. Well, yesterday we laid the foundation, and today he's busy bringing it up, and all of the stuff that's sitting out in the veranda is gonna go in here, so that on a Saturday afternoon I can sit out on the veranda and watch the kids in the pool and have a braai, or if you in the US or other countries, I can barbecue. What I've done is I've marked out now the door for where I'm going to cut. So see there, I'm gonna pull a chalk line across it so that we can cut. 1.7 meters, which is 1.5 for my reveal, and then 100 overlap on either side. The new shed is complete, so I just want to show you quickly what it looks like. That's going to be a concreted area, flat area outside. Then I've actually changed my plans now. I've put the main workshop build on hold for now because I'm so happy with the way this thing turned out. I've decided to actually bring the temporary workshop from the top down into here because it's much more solid and it's much more secure with better height. So as you can see, it's complete. The roof's on. The guys just have to cut up there. The floor's done. The walls have been plastered. I'm not putting a ceiling in so that I can store up there in the rafters. So we're just waiting for it to dry properly, and as I was mentioning, that's going to be concreted, so it will be level with the floor. So I'm going to put my machines onto mobile bases so that I can just push it outside and do whatever I need to do, and then bring it and store it back in here, and then we're gonna have a shelter over it. So I'm looking forward to that. But let me now show you what I'm doing with the garage door. I've cut out this this part here from the old garage door, and as you can see, it has some holes in it and some slots. So I've used that on top of the new part of the door now as a template. So you can see I've marked out here and I've started drilling. So now I know that you know, the holes and the slots are going to be in the exact same position that it was previously. So I'm busy doing that, and then once I'm done, I can then bring the spring in and start cutting that down to size. So I've got the slots cut out. The next thing that I've got to put on is this running strip. Basically it staples on like that and runs across the door, and it prevents the metal from rubbing on metal. So I was pretty worried about the cost of it, but it was pretty cheap. It was 12 rand a meter. It's got like a foam rubber kind of thing in there, and then the other one is these little ends that go on there. So I've got to kind of figure out how it goes on, but I'm gonna do that now. I think I'm gonna have to put it on with a pneumatic stapler, so I hope that my staples are strong enough to punch through the rubber and the metal of the door. So I'm gonna try that and let's see how it goes. My pneumatic stapler is not strong enough to go, or the staples themselves are not strong enough to go through the metal. So the option was to drill and put a piece of wire through and kind of tie it at the back here. You can just kind of see that there, but that was a bloody mission. So I've come up with this, or my builder actually told me, why don't you use rivets? So I popped in a rivet there with this rivet washer on the back, and it works like a bomb. So I'm now going to have to do it for each one of those, and on the other side. So let me get to it, and when I come back on the other side, hopefully it would have been all done. Well, there you have it, all done, much to my relief as well. Took about an hour, bit of elbow grease and some very soft fingers, but it's done on both sides. So the next stage now is to cut that down to size and then mount it onto this, tension it, and then we can mount the door up. Looking good. So in theory it all works. Let's hope that it actually does work. I forgot to video this part where I was putting this on. I got caught up in actually fitting it on. So here you can see I've mounted it and riveted on both sides of it. So all that remains then is to cut it off there and then roll the door up, mount it onto the tracks, and then we can start mounting the door up. Next part, as you can see, I've got the door rolled up and tied down so it doesn't pop open. We're going to carry it across. I'm going to just measure on the attachment bar here so that I can cut it down to the right size, and then we start mounting it up, and I'll try and figure out how to tension this thing. I've got to apologize to you guys because I've jumped ahead without recording all of this. So, busy doing it, and you kind of forget that I need to record this. I'm actually making a video of it. But as you can see, I've got the door mounted up, cut down to size, mounted up, installed. It looks good. The one issue that I'm having is the tension of the door. So when I roll it up, it doesn't tension up properly. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is the door rolled up. Now I can't get the balance right because of the spring tensions. As you can see there, if I pop it down the side, you can see that the door doesn't roll up properly. And I'm quite scared to actually fiddle around with it, with the tensioning, because one of my mates was quite badly injured, as I mentioned, when the spring jumped, or the tool jumped off and hit him in the mouth. So what I'm going to do there is I'm actually just going to leave it to somebody who knows what they're doing. I'm probably going to get somebody from one of the installers to come through and tension up the door for me. But I'm quite happy with how that turned out. I've saved myself a few thousand rands. So I'm going to call that a good build, or a goodish build. But yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my subscribers for subscribing to the channel. If you haven't, if it's the first time that you're on the channel, subscribe, like, share. I appreciate all of that. And from the channel and from me, I'm out. So I wanted to do a bit of a postscript. Can you do a postscript on a video? Anyway, so after I had concluded, shooting whatever footage I needed for this video yesterday, I closed the roller door and of course went off. But then this morning, I came back to measure in here because I wanted to put up some shelves. So I rolled this door up, and if you recall a little bit earlier on, I showed you that the door wasn't closing properly. And also, if you'll recall that throughout this video I've been mentioning that this thing can cause you serious injury, and I got to find out firsthand exactly how you can get yourself killed or injured with this. Take a look at it. What I think happened was, because the door wasn't rolling itself tight enough, it was sagging backward. Now that sag put pressure on that bracket, which broke. These brackets are not designed to hold anything sagging backward. It's pretty thin. It's just to hold something on top of it. And when I walked in and pushed the door up, it broke, and the sharp part of the door hit me in the neck. So I got off really, really lightly, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But guys, just a case in point that a spring-loaded roller door can kill you, and it can do some serious harm. All of these videos that I do are not for anybody to go and do the things that I do, but it's to learn from my mistakes, and my videos could possibly help you in your own builds. So once again, don't mess around with the spring-loaded roller door.